Hello GNS community, my name's Jake Burnett and I'm the middle school principal. This is just about how things are going at home, and I've deliberately used that phrase because I think we, when we started Go Online, got caught up in the check-in, and the check-in was very much about us asking students, how are you doing? And the how are you doing is obviously extremely personal, and it also makes our students, I think very much about, schoolwork, and how am I doing in terms of my schoolwork. Now I understand in close proximity in learning that's going on with your children and you, often your kids will say, I'm not interested, I don't want you to have a role in what's going on at home. We tend to see that with our older students more and more. And often that will present from a teenager as a flat no, leave me alone, the door's shut, I don't want you to have anything to do with what I'm doing. But I think there is a really important step to be aware of, and that's when your child invites you in to be part of their learning. There's this tendency to ask, how are you doing? And often when students hear that question, the instant conclusion they come up with is that it must relate to academic performance, particularly if it's coming from a teacher, often from a parent. And this can lead to other questions like, have you done this? Have you followed the instructions given to you by the teacher? Or that's not how I used to do it when I was at school. And unfortunately, if we go down that pathway, we tend to end up generating a sense of confrontation. Learning is a process. Learning is not just looking at the end product, and particularly where we are at the moment, we are very much looking at the process of our kids' learning. So some phrases that might be useful when you have an invitation from your child, things like, tell me some more about that. What's causing you those challenges in maths? I'm curious to know why you're not engaging with French right now. And that gives some opportunities to be really specific. Specifics are good. The problem also is that we sometimes, as adults, think we instantly know the answers. And unless your child asks you directly, don't feel that you're there as a knowledge source or a place just to give correct answers. A key here for you at home is to act as a coach and help your child discover more about themselves, their own learning, the difficulties that might be presented. These are just things that your child will have been used to doing with their teachers in school anyway. There are some key points here. Listen for the invitation your son, daughter gives you. Wait for it. Don't push them. It will look different in different situations. Pause. Consider a really good starting point. And remember, what we're looking for here is it's a process for your child. It's not about results. And ultimately, we know it's not going to be perfect. Your child needs to know, in the end, of course, you love them. You're there for them. You've got time for them. They need to know you're going to feed them and protect them. And if it doesn't work first time around, try again and try again. And ask your child for some feedback as to how that situation was for them. They'll give you some awesome insights, I know. And I think the final thing that really is important for us as adults to know in this situation, when we're all at home, we didn't ask for it. Our kids absolutely didn't ask for it, and they will certainly be feeling a lack of power, a lack of faith in themselves. Don't forget the humour here. Don't forget that a smile is so important. And of course, when we start back, whenever that is, we know that the learning will continue, these conversations will continue, and ultimately, your kid's going to be awesome.